Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.
Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of CNBC-TV18 and Qualcomm present the 5G opportunity. Now, as we all know, 5G has been touted to be a watershed in telecom. And it seems that in this era of work from home, we need faster data to ensure businesses can scale. Fifth generation mobile communication technology is a paradigm shift in the field of communications because it not only enables human-to-human communication, but also machine-to-machine communication. As per industry experts, 5G technology has the potential for ushering a major societal transformation in India by enabling a rapid expansion of the role of information technology across manufacturing, education, healthcare, agriculture, finance, and social sectors. As the world ushers in the 5G era, India is also awaiting the much-anticipated 5G spectrum auction, which is expected to be held in May this year. India has shown keen interest in boosting 5G networks across, as the 5G network will make a great impact on India in the immediate future. Earlier, we caught up with Kalyana Raman Rajaraman, Chairman DCC and the Secretary Telecom, who spoke about the opportunities and the potential of 5G in India. Let's listen in.
A technology innovation report released by the UNCTAD recently quotes that frontier technologies already represent about $350 billion global market opportunity, which could grow to $3.2 trillion by 2025. The report also mentions that 5G would be contributing about $277 billion by 2025 to the global economies. Interestingly, the Internet of Things alone are envisaged to contribute about $1.5 trillion by 2025. The opportunity that 5G has thrown up obviously will drive economic growth in all across the world and also in India especially. Now, the 3GPP standards, which define 5G, have integrated the Internet of Things as part of the 4G and 5G standards for both narrowband IoTs and broadband IoTs. In fact, the 5G capabilities and its relevance get multiplied in combination with other frontier technologies such as artificial intelligence, big data, blockchain, Internet of Things, etc. Honorable Prime Minister has said in his recent address at the India Mobile Congress of 2021 that all of us need to think and plan as to how our innovation and efforts can contribute more towards bringing positive change in the lives of the people and improve various sectors such as healthcare, education, agriculture, and SMEs. Hence, we are very keen in government to ensure that 5G rollout also ensures digital inclusion, especially in rural and remote areas. This will also ensure financial inclusion, which is a commitment of the government. Honorable Minister for Communications also stated that 5G spectrum auctions will be conducted in the Q2 of 2022 and services could be rolled out in the later part of 2022. He has also stated that DOT will work on a reforms package and will see another opportunity for reforms in the 5G rollout as well. Now, if you look at the various improvements or implications for customers and operators when 5G is rolled out, I mean, we see a lot of new capabilities which are being introduced, especially gigabit speeds for in terms of downloads, sub-millisecond latency, million devices per square kilometer kind of capabilities in terms of Internet of Things, extreme values for IoT battery life, and reliability of the order of 99.999%. We also would see a number of new and hitherto impossible use cases which are opening up due to the higher bandwidth that can be provided by 5G, such as smart city applications which are driven by big data, smart transportation and assisted driving opportunities, robotic surgeries which are driven by critical IoT, Industry 4 and M2M networks, holographic applications, high throughput hotspots, where a lot of consumers are using high data applications, etc. Now, if you look at the opportunities for India as an economy, I think we have a tremendous opportunity in terms of research and development. In fact, the government in 2018 sanctioned a 5G testbed for a group of institutions such as IIT Madras, IIT Hyderabad, Delhi, Bombay, Kanpur, and the Institute of Science in Bangalore, and Samir. So this consortium has actually rolled out a 5G testbed, which is in an advanced stage, and a number of innovations have been an outcome of this. And we hope that very shortly this 5G testbed would be put to use for industry to test out various 5G products sometime in the early part of next year. We have the Center for Development of Telematics, CDOT, which is working on a 5G NSA core and likely to be released sometime in the later part of next year. Now, the opportunities that we have in India include manufacturing. So manufacturing is going to be a big game changer as far as 5G is concerned. The government of India has rolled out a massive PLI scheme, out of which telecom manufacturing is also one of them. The Department of Telecom has actually sanctioned the PLI scheme for sum of about nearly 8,000 crores, with covering about 31 companies, out of which about 16 are small and medium enterprises. Now, the biggest advantage that would accrue from the 5G rollout would be the opportunity for building the core in India, which essentially is a piece of software. So India's capabilities in the information technology can be harnessed, especially since 5G will require or is based on a lot of network function virtualization. The Indian IT strengths, which arise from a number of our homegrown companies like TCS, Tech Mahindra, HCL, etc., can take capabilities to the next level. We also have a number of homegrown startups and small and medium enterprises like VVDN, Leica Wireless, Signal, Astrom, etc., which have developed excellent products, subsystems which are capable of 5G. Now, DOT is also working with the Telecom Sector Skills Development Council and industry to enable upskilling of youth and industry professionals for 5G, especially for manufacturing as well as for operation and maintenance of 5G equipment. Now, in order to make all this happen in the last few years, we have actually granted experimental spectrum for trials of devices and network equipment for manufacturers, for telecom service providers and research institutions. And testing and trials on various kinds of equipments are underway in various parts of the country, in rural, remote settings, etc. Use cases for monetization is also under evaluation by telecom service providers and institutions. The Telecom Engineering Center is also developing essential requirements for 5G equipment testing. And the right of way is going to be a very important part of the speed with which we are able to roll out 5G. And here, I think we are in dialogue with the state governments to ensure that speedy clearances are given for right of way, enabling fiberization of towers, enabling installation of 5G small cells, and so on and so forth. Now, if you look at the background work which has been done, we have already sent a reference to TRAI, and TRAI has released a consultation paper on 5G spectrum auctions. And if you look at the spectrum that will be covered, I think it looks at low band, which will ensure coverage in rural areas, mid band, which will ensure capacity in urban and rural settings, and also the millimeter wave, which will provide the bandwidth which is required for intense bandwidth applications and use cases. Now, obviously, when 5G comes in with such a large amount of equipment, devices, which would be part of the network, the surface area would be very large, and therefore security considerations would be paramount. So therefore, government is very keen to ensure security of network equipment, and hence trusted sources and secure content protocol has been laid down, which will mandate that equipment of a certain standard and category would be allowed to function in the 5G systems. The Department of Telecommunications National Center for Communication Security is working on India's telecom security assurance protocols for 5G equipment. So, in short, I would like to say that a whole host of items of work are underway, and as the government and the Department of Telecom gets ready for the 5G rollout in India.
It's time for a very short break, but don't go anywhere. On the other side, we'll explore how India can overcome various challenges to realize the economic potential of 5G for India. Welcome back to this very special episode of CNBC-TV18 and Qualcomm present the 5G opportunity. So how can India optimize 5G benefits to boost its economic growth? To discuss this topic in depth, we're now joined by an esteemed panel of guests. We have with us Dr. Kirti Gupta, Vice President, Technology and Economic Strategy at Qualcomm, Professor Emeritus Arogyaswamy Paul Raj from Stanford University, and Purushottamam KG, Partner and National Sector Leader, Telecommunications at KPMG in India. Professor, my first question to you is, India has a vision to be a trillion-dollar economy, a digital powerhouse, and 5G can be a catalyst for India to achieve this dream. Now, why is 5G technology so critical to India realizing this digital dream?
Wireless can touch not only humans, but also touch machines, machines to machines, and humans to machines. And this requires a completely new set of wireless capability, much higher speeds in some case, very low latency, massive interconnectivity of massive machine-type communications, ultra reliability, which 4G does not have. And when that 5G brings those kinds of capability, what will happen is it'll open up a whole new series of what I would call as ultra digitization, where manufacturing, transportation on roads, agriculture, almost telemedicine, a whole range of things which cannot be done today by 4G will be opened up by 5G. So I think it's going to, India has traditionally been slow in building infrastructure. So 5G will bring about a lot of productivity and improve and efficiency in infrastructure, and therefore help India move faster forward.
Indeed, some of the developed economies have leapfrogged ahead of us in 5G technology, but we've got the ball rolling. Dr. Gupta, Professor Paul Raj said that 5G can be a big boost to the Indian economy. 5G also has the power to impact our society. So how can 5G help in creating a sustainable growth and bringing in a new balance in the world and specifically in India?
5G isn't just about connecting people to people, it's about connecting things, everything, everywhere. In that way, think of it as an infrastructure, the underlying infrastructure of a fully connected future world. So I think India's opportunity is unique and massive for three reasons. First, 5G can enable India to leapfrog technology evolution. What you just said, Reema, yet again, like we saw, the shift from low wireline to massive wireless coverage in the country, and from 2G to 4G, right? That immediate jump. So 5G can really help accelerate the digitization of its economy. This way, I think 5G can help address the digital divide, which is, a problem throughout the world, and especially in India. Less than 10% of Indian households have internet at home. Only 22% schools are connected, and most micro businesses are not. 4G has democratized the use of smartphones and mobile data in India, right? In 2014, only 10% of the population was using mobile internet. Now it's about 40%. But 5G can bring this to the whole other level. Second reason, you talked about sustainability. 5G is designed to be greener, more sustainable, aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions, better water, energy, optimization, safer transportation. All of this disproportionately benefits India across sectors. Third, India's stepping up with Make in India, Design in India challenge in a big way. Any generational shift in technology, like 4G to 5G, gives the Indian industry a unique advantage.
Thank you very much for highlighting that, Dr. Gupta. Purushottam, I'm coming to you now. Dr. Gupta spoke about how 5G can accelerate India's digitization and help bridge the digital divide. Can we now talk about the new opportunities for industries and verticals, and how can these sectors make their investments which are not only profitable but also purposeful?
I want to bring a perspective on some of the research that we have done as KPMG on the actual opportunity for 5G, not only globally but as well as in India. As per a survey that we launched not only with the CEOs in the TMT sector, but also across the industry, the opportunity that we see are around three primary areas. One is how can 5G as not only at a connectivity layer, but as a transformation layer, transform the business. Second is how can it improve the efficiency or the way the operating model itself is undergoing a change. And the third important aspect of it is how do organizations give a differentiated and an immersive customer experience to its own customers. And these are three primary opportunities on which the entire digitization lies. From an opportunity perspective, the entire 5G market, we divide into essentially four layers. The first layer is around the opportunity around the device and the device ecosystem. The second is around infrastructure. The third that Professor Paul Raj also spoke about is about applications. And the fourth is on services. And this is a completely different change that you will see with 5G coming in, which you might have not changed to that extent with 4G and other technologies. The reason being that one of the surveys that we have done, which has also been backed by GSMA, is that 5G itself is going to add a certain percentage to the GDP. Our estimate was above 1%. GSMA has estimated around 1% incremental to the GDP. In terms of the industries that you spoke about, Industry 4.0, which has already taken up a good shape in India and has created momentum with a lot of startups focusing on it. According to us, there will be a lot of emphasis and boost for the four primary drivers I spoke about, and the area and the factors that will get positively impacted by this would be manufacturing, healthcare, government and utilities, energy, and mining. These are four industries that have already started working on the transformation phase and trying to evaluate areas and use cases on 4.0.
I'll come back to the point about how 5G can incrementally contribute 1% to our GDP. But Professor Paul Raj, if I could get your thoughts in on how 5G can open up huge opportunities for investment and growth across various sectors.
5G can bring in enormous value to road transportation. For example, certainly is things like downstream, there are applications like platooning, where on highways, trucks could or even cars could get together and keep very low vehicle-to-vehicle distance, and yet be safe, and therefore provide much higher density of traffic on roads. Or, for example, even like it can also do cooperative overtaking, lane changes, and so many other things to make the flow of transportation better and more efficient. So, given the same infrastructure we have today, with 5G, we can pack in a lot more vehicles, much more safely, and much better throughput on these roads. So, this is an example how almost anything we touch, whether it's agriculture, road transportation, and certainly in manufacturing, 5G can really be a game changer.
Dr. Gupta, if you could share your thoughts on how 5G can revolutionize many industries. Professor spoke about road transport. You had also alluded to agriculture earlier. But in your assessment, which sectors do you think we could see the maximum impact taking place in the near future?
Let me just give some examples of industries. Healthcare. 5G can enable remote diagnostics, treatment, surgeries. So imagine the impact on India. 80% of Indian doctors are located in urban areas, serving a quarter of the population. So 5G can make reliable remote healthcare accessible across the country. And the good thing is the pandemic has really changed this industry and made telehealth a real normalized practice. Education. Right now, only 8% of children in rural areas in India are connected, only 24% in urban areas. Again, the pandemic has highlighted the importance of connected education, and this bridging the digital divide can bring that connectivity that's required for online education. Transportation, we already talked about this, Professor Paul Raj just mentioned. But again, make this specific to India. Connected cars, smart transformation not only reduces carbon emission, makes road travel safer, but disproportionate benefit to India accounts for about 2% of motor vehicles globally, but more than 11% of road traffic deaths. Imagine eliminating those. And finally, manufacturing. The Make in India campaign is bringing an opportunity in a real way. Smart, connected factories make this so much more efficient and possible for us to, again, leapfrog.
Purushottam, coming back to the point about how 5G can incrementally add a disproportionate economic value to our GDP. I think the KPMG assessment talks about a cumulative impact, an economic impact of $1 trillion by 2035. Could you elaborate a little bit more on this study of yours?
There is a huge focus on building infrastructure. The NDCP and the rollout of BharatNet initiative, the Digital India initiative, and the Make in India initiative are all working in similar lines. We are aware that currently the level of fiberization that we have in India is in the range of anywhere between 25 to 30%. With 5G coming in, the boost on BharatNet, and an additional focus that the government has actually brought in the next phase of BharatNet implementation is expected to not only increase the focus on developing infrastructure, but also opportunities, government to customer opportunities, also opportunities for the private sector in rural areas. That's one part of it. The second part of it is the entire incentives on PLI has also opened up organizations to set up base in India. As we speak, there are more than 31 odd companies that have actually started to take benefit or started applying based on the schemes that the PLI schemes that have been launched by the government. Of that, 21 of them are, as we speak, focusing on TMT as a sector and predominantly 5G as a focus area. Finally, I also see a lot of changes happening on data privacy and information security regulations, which will also give confidence to the end customers. Telecom as a sector currently contributes approximately anywhere between 6.7 to 7% of the GDP currently. With 5G coming in, that is expected to go up by another 1.5% in 2 years' time from the launch itself. So the contribution of the sector itself to the GDP is expected to increase. But when it comes to 5G, it's not just the sector, but the telecom sector will be the horizontal and the other sectors will be the verticals. So it'll boost the digital transformation in other sectors and drive transformation and immersive experience for the customer in other sectors.
A big thank you to all of you for joining us in this special discussion. With that, it's a wrap on the show. Thank you for watching.
Focus. Ideate. Innovate. Enable.